I'm Harrison Graham. Can the Chicago Bears beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday? I'm going to tell you why I think they can here on today's show. I want to ask you guys first, what is your confidence level in the Bears beating the Eagles? Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being we got no shot in this game, 10 being no chance we lose. I think the Bears got a real shot here. I really, really do. I'm going to tell you why coming up next. Can the Bears pull off their most impressive win yet? That's the opportunity they got ahead of them in Philadelphia as they take on the Eagles on Black Friday in front of over 200 countries, as this game will be free on Prime Video. Of course, tune in for us and, watch on another device the actual game with the sound down. Come interact with us here on Bears Now. But listen, Vegas is still not believing the Bears are quite there, right? At least with the Eagles, who are a healthy favorite, 6.5-point favorites as we're filming this here on Monday. Over-under set at 44.5. So 25-19 Eagles. That's kind of what Vegas is telling us here early in the week. We'll see if some injury news could impact that by a point or two, see where the money comes in as the game goes on. But I got a few reasons why I think the Bears can win. Number one, the Eagles' offense is struggling right now. It's not explosive. It's very safe and vanilla. You look at their NFL ranks this year in a lot of key areas, other than turnovers, which, is great. You don't want to turn the ball over. The Bears have not turned it over a lot this year either. But when you're so conservative and safe and you're middle of the pack in scoring, they're also really bad on third down. It's hard to win that way. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense. Now, listen, it's working for the most part, right? But I think you saw what happened yesterday is you get this big lead, 21-0. You're like, oh, is the Eagles offense back? They just go into the tank. It's kind of like when you're playing FIFA and you go into that ultra defensive mode. I forget what's it called? Yeah, park the bus. If you've ever played Philly, just park the bus. It's kind of like in football too. It's like you're up 2 scores late. You play prevent defense. You play not to lose. What happens when you play not to lose? You lose, right? That's kind of what happened to the Eagles against Dallas, where it's like, oh, they'll just cruise. Well, Dallas is pretty potent. They can score in a hurry. The Bears are kind of the same way. The Bears are a very explosive offense. So, Philadelphia, it'll be interesting to see if they, get a little more aggressive-minded here. But this Eagles offense doesn't scare me that much. They don't rank that well in key areas. Now, they don't turn the football over. That's a key stat. But the Bears don't turn it over a lot either. So I think the Bears, I don't view this as a game where you're going to give up 30 points. Part of that is Lane Johnson is out. And this offensive line this year for Philadelphia has already not played that well. Their interior is not great, especially at center and right guard. Whether it's Brett Toth or Cam Jurgens, who's been struggling at center, I don't think it really matters that much. I think these interior pass rushers for the Bears can hopefully get into the backfield some. Tyler Steen has been average at best. They really miss Mekhi Becton, who left for the Chargers this offseason. And Fred Johnson's an okay swing tackle, but he's nowhere near Lane Johnson, obviously. They've got issues. I mean, Mailata's great at left tackle. Dickerson is still really good at left guard, but center to right tackle right now, it's below average. It really, really is. And this is typically the strength of this Eagles football team. And Montez Sweat, who's been playing better as of late, he has 6.5 sacks over his last 6 games, 7.5 sacks overall this year. He's starting to kind of live back up to that contract. He's making some splash plays. I think he could take advantage of a Fred Johnson. He certainly needs to. If the Bears are going to win this game, Montez Sweat's going to have to win some one-on-ones. And against a swing tackle, he better be able to do that fairly consistently. So that is definitely a matchup to watch in this football game. But their offense is already struggling. Now they're down probably their best overall player offensively in Lane Johnson. That's where I think the Bears can really take advantage. All right, more to come in this matchup as I think the Bears have a chance to beat the Eagles here on Black Friday. But first, got to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor. That is PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there's only one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. I got to be honest, I've been right a lot on PrizePicks this year. I'm up still over $450 on the season. My season-long fantasy football team has been in shambles, so I've just been ripping daily fantasy lineups with PrizePicks, and it's fun. You can pick different players. You can have different sports in your lineups. You can have a basketball player, a football player, a hockey player all in the same lineup. You just pick 2 or more players and take more or less than the different stat projections available, and you are qualified for a PrizePicks lineup. A lineup I like this week. I love it when quarterbacks get the goblin option of half a passing touchdown. Caleb Williams just tossed 3. I think he'll throw for at least 1. So give me the more on that. More on Rome Odunze's 46.5 receiving yards. And I don't like the way Saquon Barkley's running the football, their O-line issues. I took the less on 74.5 right there. 3-player lineup that I feel pretty damn good about. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. Okay, why the Bears can win. Number 3. I think the Bears O-line can hold up. You know, the Eagles' defensive front is pretty good, especially at defensive tackle. Jalen Phillips has given them a spark at the edge as well. But I like how the Bears stack up against Philadelphia. You know, Jalen Carter is probably the one guy who can wreck a game more than anyone else. Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman, I think they can hold their own against Jalen Carter in the interior. Obviously, we'll see for an encore, how does Ozzie Trapillo play, assuming he's going to start this week, which I don't see why he wouldn't. Darnell Wright, for the most part, has been really good recently as well. And listen, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo's playing well. They've got dudes, but so do the Bears. I think the Bears' offensive line can hold up. The Bears just played an excellent defensive front in Pittsburgh, and outside of that one strip sack by T.J. Watt, they kind of held them in check. Now, the Steelers did a pretty good job of limiting the run game, but from a pass pro standpoint, I thought Caleb was getting the ball out on time, and I thought the offensive line held up really, really well, especially after Darnell got beat a couple of times. So, I think they can do the same thing against Philadelphia and win that battle in the trenches more often than not. All right, our Week 13 subscriber battle continues. Eagles now is taking a slight lead, 84-72. If you want free and daily Bears content, if you want to beat the Eagles on Friday and in this subscriber competition, let's get those numbers up. Let's get to our next milestone of 142,000 subscribers. All right, Caleb Williams. Listen, we can debate who the better quarterback is. Certainly Jalen Hurts has more skins on the wall. But this year, right now, Caleb is a more explosive quarterback than Jalen Hurts. So what does that mean? That means that this Bears offense as a whole, and Caleb Williams being a big part of that, is generating more big plays. 10-plus yard runs, 20-plus yard throws. Certainly, Jalen's the safer quarterback. He's going to be the more accurate quarterback, especially on the underneath throws. Probably the deep ball accuracy, too. That's a strength of Jalen's, but they don't throw a ton of them anymore. I'm not trying to have some QB debate between Caleb and Jalen Hurts. My point is, though, on the road, if you're going to win this game, you're going to have to generate more explosives than Philly. Philly wants to play it safe. They don't want to turn the ball over. They want to play ball control. They want to be methodical. The Bears want to generate explosives. And what Ben Johnson and this offense has been so good about this year is the ability to generate explosives while playing low turnover football. That's the one thing with Caleb Williams is he does not turn it over a lot. Now, Pittsburgh wasn't his best game in that regard. Bad strip sack and got away with a throw or two. But for the most part, he is cautiously aggressive and does not put the ball in harm's way while also generating big plays, especially over the middle of the field. That is where Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, attacking the middle of the field. I don't think there's any question about that. Ben Johnson talked about it the other day on Monday, how that's been a big area of growth in his game, especially on those play-action plays where he's got his back turned to the defense off the play-action, turn his head around and fire a dart over the middle. Missed a couple of those on Sunday, but that's been a clear area of growth. I think if this offense can connect on enough of those explosive play opportunities, that can be the difference in this game. And then lastly, some key reinforcements could be coming. Keep an eye on the injury report all week, obviously, and as updates come, we will continue to provide those. But, if you get even one or two of these guys back, that makes a big difference. I know the Eagles' passing game has been hit and miss, but if you're going to war without Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, like Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, they can cause some problems, no question about it. Now, I like the way Nashawn Wright's playing. We'll see what Tyreek Stevenson's status is. He's banged up as well, but you can get one or two of these guys back for Black Friday, maybe one of the corners and TJ Edwards. That would be huge. So keep an eye on those injury reports throughout the week. All right, there you have it. Some reasons why I believe the Bears can beat the Eagles on Black Friday. I'm not giving my official score prediction right now because I want to get some more injury clarity, but you guys drop your score predictions in the comments below. Bears, Eagles, who you got? What's the final score going to be? My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And as always, bear down.